Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is the newest Metroidvania and is the latest installment in the franchise after a decade, unless of course you include So if you're deciding to get this game to kick off 2024 or make it your first game in the series, here are some tips you should know before playing the game. First of all, it's a Metroidvania. At the very least, it has a Metroidvania structure. I'm not exactly the biggest expert when it comes to defining a genre. If I listed 5 games I thought were Souls-like, you would think I wouldn't know my left from my right. But The Lost Crown is most definitely a Metroidvania, so that means there's not exactly a set path you could follow in terms of progression. Sure, you get a constant reminder of what your main goal is, but how to fulfill it, that's all on you. So the game basically consists of exploring different areas within a huge map, keeping note of sections you can't progress through yet until you find abilities that allow you to. Consequently, that also means there's a bunch of backtracking. But there is a mechanic introduced in this game that you should always capitalize on. Its memory shard system. You start off with 15 of these memory shards. Whenever you see something you can't access yet with your current abilities, you can memorize that place for later and it remains on your map until you remove it. It's basically a built-in screenshot. This system definitely reduces the amount of backtracking by just removing aspects of forgetfulness and getting lost, making it a must-use mechanic if you were playing the game. But if not having a clear marker of where to go next isn't your cup of tea, the game offers 2 styles of playing: guided and exploration. Guided pinpoints where you need to go, alongside marking which pathways you can enter or are currently blocked off. Exploration gives the minimum amount of info needed on the map for you to play. In both versions though, you also get custom markers you can place yourself alongside a hint system you pay through the in-game currency. Sargon's melee capabilities start off by having a standard 3-hit combo, a crouching attack with follow-ups, a launcher that you can follow up into aerial attacks, a charged attack, and even a dive bomb. But did you know you also start with a dash attack that can act as a launcher, attack specific to dodging to ensure you're always on the offensive, and a charge attack you can cancel into during your combo? I'd even scratch the surface of the various abilities and weapons you can obtain throughout the game. The combat is simple because there's a simple game plan. Knock enemies into the air as soon as possible since they can't counter, and do everything you can to keep them there while juggling them. What makes it complex are the various options you have to do so. Combine that with the varying enemy types that require different tactics based on their builds and abilities, trying to get through the game with the same 3-hit combo can make things more frustrating than it should be. There's even a training mode you can access to practice combos. You're an immortal, so play in a way that proves so. That being said, the game does offer opportunities to play your own way, so choose what best suits you. As stated before, Sargon will gain various abilities he can use both in exploration and battle. One of these ways is through these neat little amulets that provide different effects, either passive or active. There's a total of 38 you can collect, and you can synergize a few to create varying builds. For instance, you can use an amulet that allows you to repeatedly chain the finishing blow attack of a combo. That, combined with an amulet that increases your melee damage and max health, alongside an ability that allows you to repeat an action, can lead to devastating results. Alternatively, you could put Sargon's dual blades on the back burner and focus on ranged combat instead. Flaming arrows, arrows that fan out, or even combine both. There's amulets dedicated to making exploration a bit easier as well, like a bird that points out secrets. There's also the Athra Surges, special abilities Sargon can use when he does well enough in combat. A piercing stab, an anti-air slice, a strong projectile, a healing field, or just a plain nuke. There's also amulets that buff these surges, so if you rely on these special abilities a lot in your playthrough, that might be what you should equip. Why do you keep hitting yourself? There's amulets that reward you for getting hit, so it's beneficial for the player who can't dodge every attack. Again, it all depends on how you want to play the game, and the game accounts for that. We've all come across a certain boss, or even a puzzle that frustrates us to no end, and what I'm offering as advice isn't something only applicable to the Lost Crown, but is advice that will greatly benefit your playthrough, and that is to know when to come back later. Sometimes your health is too low, your damage does need some upgrading. you do need another potion or weapon at your disposal. Who cares if bosses are waiting for you to challenge them again? It's funnier if you come back 2 hours later completely stacked. By choosing to explore and win later, you might come across another boss that better fits your current abilities, and the reward is the exact skill you need in that fight you're stuck on, or the ability you needed to solve a puzzle. If not, at least you're still progressing through the game in some way. So don't stray away from looking for more petals that boost your health, chests, or side quests you can complete. Do what you have to not feel frustrated. Check out thegamer.com for more gaming guides and news for Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown and more. I've been Yasuo Ho, and thanks for watching.